Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Fox Shop Barbecue, where we do all of our smoking and grilling and making of foodstuffs right down here in the Fox Shop. And if you don't know what the Fox Shop is, this here is the Fox Shop, and this is one of the Fox Shop dogs. This is Jessie. She's a little camera shy sometimes. Anyway, the Fox Shop, that's the name of my other YouTube channel where we do things such as this 94 F-150 that I redid a few years ago and still doing things on. Also have a 93 Bronco over in the other shop that will be getting painted here shortly as soon as the weather starts to cooperate a little bit. So if you think you might be interested in that kind of content as well, a link will be down in the description. And make sure you hit that subscribe button, notification bell, that way you always know when I upload a video. So I used to make this quite often, just used to make it in the oven. I'm gonna try it this time by smoking the hamburger, the ground beef. And to be honest, I haven't made it in a few years. I love it. My wife isn't crazy about it. She's not real big on cheese. And my daughter, I don't think she likes it either, if I remember right. But I'm gonna try to get her to try it tonight. So anyway, what I have here, and originally, this is how I was gonna do it. I've just got 2 pounds of ground beef in here. Not even really formed up like a meatloaf or anything, it's just in a meatloaf pan. And I was just gonna let that chill out in the refrigerator for a little bit, put it right on the grate and smoke it pretty much like a meatloaf. But I got to thinking, there's no binders in that. There's no pulverized crackers, there's no egg, there's nothing in it. And I didn't want to risk losing some of the hamburger down through the grate. And I thought about lining the grate, just putting tin foil on there, and then I'm not sure if that's in the smoker for 2.5 hours or so. Hamburger might stick to it. I'm honestly not sure on that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the hamburger out of here. I've got a couple of these little pie tins. We'll put that right on the grate, and we'll smoke it that way. Also, I can divide the hamburger up a little more into bigger chunks, probably get more smoke on the actual meat that way. And we're gonna smoke it till it's done, and then I'll show you what I'm gonna do. I love this stuff. So I got me some gloves on, no sink down here in the shop, no fancy kitchen here, guys. But my mom actually taught me how to make this. You know, it's been quite a while ago. I love it. Like I said, my wife, she'll eat it, but she doesn't care for it. My 2 oldest kids, they really like it, but I don't think my youngest up in the house will. She's kind of picky on foods that have multiple things in them. But for right now, I'm just gonna take half of this hamburger and kind of break it up into this pie tin here. Don't need to crumple it up yet, but I'm gonna break it up. Instead of smoking it in one big chunk, hopefully this will get more of the smoke flavor in all of the meat. That's all there is to it. So that's what I have right now. I got 2 racks because 2 of these won't fit on one rack in my smoker. But I got 2 pounds of hamburger, just kind of clumped up in a couple of pie tins here. And I'm gonna wait for the smoker to get up to temp, which I'm gonna smoke that at about somewhere between 250 and 260 degrees using hickory wood. Not exactly sure how long it's gonna take. I'm guessing a couple hours, maybe not quite since it's all broke up. And then when I get done with that, I'll bring you back in and show you how we're gonna do this. All right guys, the smoker, I just looked, it was at 256. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these on there. Got some smoke coming out. And like I said, I don't know how long this is gonna take, a couple hours. Well, we're at 260 now, but may not even take a couple hours. I'm not real sure on this. But we will go ahead and get these in here. Just like that. I'm not sure another one's gonna go on top of that. I may have to put this guy, put him down there, and the next one up above. And I have absolutely no seasoning on this. It's just ground beef. There's no salt, there's no pepper, there's no nothing on that. It's just straight ground beef. You could put seasoning on it if you want to. That's up to you. I'm just doing the ground beef. So we'll get this guy up above him right there. And I think in a couple hours, we should have our ground beef all done. And like I said, it may not take that long since it's not in one big clump, it's all broke up. I don't know, never done it this way before. Like I said, I've always done it in the oven, but I thought it might take it up another notch having smoked ground beef instead of just browned in a frying pan. So I'll bring you back in when the ground beef's ready and we'll move on from there. Just started this for the mashed potatoes. I've got, let's see, 2.5 cups of water in there, three tablespoons of margarine, a little bit of salt in there, and then we're gonna add 3/4 of a cup of milk and 2 cups of, wherever they are, 2 cups of the instant mashed potatoes to make our potato topping. So let me get this going. The hamburger is almost done. Just checked on it a minute ago, and it needs just a little bit more, but tastes pretty darn good. I'll have to say that. So I think this is going to turn out pretty well. Let me get this rolling here and get some potatoes going, and I'll show you how we finish this up. All right, so we've got this the water, margarine, and salt rocking and rolling here. You're supposed to take that off of the heat, so we'll shut that off. We'll move it over here, and then add in our milk. And 2.5 cups of our instant mashed potato flakes here. So there's 1 cup. I'm gonna add another 1.5, and that should be good. Actually, it's just 2 cups, so we'll add that in there. We'll just stir this all around, and this should make our instant mashed potatoes that we need here in just a few minutes. Alright, so I've got the ground beef in here, and I'm just using a potato smasher. We're going to chop this up as good as we can. We don't have any great big chunks in there. I found this works pretty darn well. This is actually ground beef from my wife's parents. They raise belted Galloway cattle, and there's not a lot of fat in this. In fact, I think they have to add fat to it when they process it. Chopped up as good as we can here. All right, we've got that pounded up pretty well, and I'm using this casserole dish because I discovered the other one won't fit in the smoker. So we'll see how this goes here. That's probably plenty. Put that on the bottom. Might as well put a little more on there. Layer that on the bottom, and then we're going to take our Velveeta cheese and cut some slices out of it here, and we are just going to cover it with that. Just depends on how much cheese you like, on how much you want to put on there. Myself, I like cheese. Alright, so we've got that pretty well layered with cheese, and then on top of that, we're going to put our mashed potatoes. Layer those over the top. Alright, I think we're good to go here. Dog will lick that out. And then all you do, we're going to put this back in here. And all we're going to do is wait until the cheese melts, and we're done. And I can tell you right now, I am hungry, and that is smelling really, really good. And I told you the dogs clean that up. That's the Fox Shop barbecue dishwasher right there. All right, so I brought this in off of the smoker. I'm gonna cut me a little section out of here. Let's see how this turned out. All right, so that's what we're looking like. I love this stuff, guys. So we're gonna see what it's like with smoked hamburger. That's darn good. That's darn good. Yeah, that takes it to the next level, guys. That smoked hamburger in there with the cheese and potatoes. That is awesome. Oh, guys, that is really, really good. That smoked hamburger, smoked ground beef in there. Oh, that took it up another level. You want something cheap, easy, pretty quick to do? This is it. You can have some leftovers here. Wish I had a microwave down here in the shop. I could have me a quick meal here for lunch, but it's just hamburger on the bottom, Velveeta cheese on top, and instant mashed potatoes on the top of the cheese. Put it back in the smoker until the cheese is melted, and you're good to go. Anyway, guys, I highly approve of this. And if you like what you see in this video, please give it a big old thumbs up. Comments go down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the little notification bell. I appreciate you watching, and gonna have a lot more coming up down here. We're just having fun down here, guys. Just hanging out in the shop and making food. So.